The lawyer's office smelled faintly of polished wood and paper. Sunlight filtered through the tall windows, catching the dust motes that floated lazily above the carpet. I stood near the corner, silent, hands loosely clasped in front of me, watching my younger brother. He leaned back in the leather chair, one leg crossed over the other, fingers tapping a quiet rhythm against the armrest. That smug little smirk, the one that had haunted so many of my childhood memories, was fully in place. "And what about you?" he said suddenly, glancing at me. "That old barn suits you better, doesn't it?" His voice was light, teasing, but there was a hardness beneath it. The words landed exactly as he intended, dismissive, superior. I said nothing. I let my silence do the work that words never could. The lawyer cleared his throat. The subtle sound cut through the tension like a soft gavel. Everyone shifted slightly in their seats, a perceptible pause settling over the room. My brother's eyes flicked toward the lawyer, confidence still lingering, though slightly offset by curiosity. "Let's continue," the lawyer said, opening the file with careful deliberation. "As per the will." I had been here before, in moments like this, where patience wasn't just a choice, it was armor. My mind replayed the small injustices, the way he always got the bigger slice, the louder praise, the privileges that were assumed as his birthright. I let each memory pass without comment, letting it feed a quiet, contained anticipation. My brother shifted, clear expecting the familiar narrative to continue: Lakeside mansion, grand inheritance, unchallenged entitlement. He leaned back smug, certain, and as for the other property, the lawyer said, his voice even measured. My heart slowed, not out of surprise, but out of readiness. The lawyer paused, flipping a page, then spoke again. "There is a clause that the heirs must be reminded of. The barn, located on the outskirts of the property, is not merely a storage building. It contains a trust established in your sibling's name, designed to yield ongoing revenue and full rights to development as they see fit. All proceeds, fully designated, are theirs alone." The pause hung in the air. My brother's smirk faltered, his fingers tightening slightly on the armrest. His eyes, those once confident pools of superiority, widened. The room felt smaller, every eye subtly drawn to his reaction. I don't understand," he said, voice a notch higher. Hesitation crept in where certainty had once lived. This can't be right." "It is correct," the lawyer confirmed. "The property generates income beyond your expectations. The Lakeside mansion is yours, yes, but the barn is no mere outbuilding. The trust associated with it places substantial control in your siblings' hands. This has always been the stipulation." I said nothing. I did not move, did not offer a glance of triumph. My composure, my calmness, became the louder statement in the room than any words I could have spoken. He opened his mouth again, stammering, and the room felt impossibly still, each second drawn long by the weight of revelation. Those few breaths of disbelief carried more impact than any shout or confrontation ever could. I watched him process, not with anger, not with shame, but with the slow, awkward realization that the balance had shifted, subtly and irrevocably. Not through spectacle of humiliation, but through authority and truth. The lawyer closed the file. The rustling of paper sounded unnaturally loud in the silence. I could feel the psychological shift in the room, the unspoken recognition from others, the quiet acknowledgement that my position, long underestimated, now carried undeniable leverage. I was not loud. I was not celebratory. But I was present, and the room somehow respected it. Later, when we left the office, my brother avoided eye contact. Not out of guilt, perhaps, but out of an awkward recalibration. We walked toward our cars in silence, the air crisp with the faint scent of the lake. My victory was not public, not gloating, but internal, complete in its quiet clarity. That evening, I stood on the edge of the old barn's deck, looking over the land that had always been underestimated. The wood was rough under my fingers, but solid. The wind caught the edge of the barn's roof, carrying the faint sound of water from the lake. I did not need to smile, did not need to speak. The authority had been confirmed, the imbalance corrected, not with noise, not with anger, but with patience, silence, and strategic restraint. And in that quiet, reflective moment, I understood something I had never fully grasped in my youth. Victory does not demand spectacle. It demands awareness, timing, and the unwavering certainty of your own worth. I walked back inside the barn, the shadows stretching long across the floorboards, carrying with me the quiet acknowledgement that I had finally, irrevocably, been seen.